Dr. Gill. Today, I want to talk about social support and empathy and the importance of having those during a pandemic, especially. I'm using a TED Talk style to help motivate people, the public, to action of a greater self awareness. Now, COVID 19 may have people feeling depressed, anxious, because they might have lost a job or lost a loved one. And thus, it is even more important to have the social support and empathy for people. Now, odds are these negative social impacts have definitely increased mental health problems. And these social support and empathy can help reduce that by aiding one another. And that still can be done. Now will help flatten the curve. Some course concepts I would like to talk about are as follows. According to Here to Help, social support can be defined as physical and emotional comfort given to you by your family, friends, coworkers, and others. It is the knowledge that you are part of a community of people who love and care for you, value you, and think well of you. They state research shows that social support provides important benefits to your physical and emotional health. Now, it is important to remember those people who are at higher risk for mental health problems, who are already suffering from depression, anxiety. They even go on to state that stress may be related to a number of health concerns, from mental health problems to chronic health problems like heart disease and migraines. However, social support can help protect people from harm and the effects of stress. When dealing with a stress situation, people are less likely to report stress-related health problems when they feel like they have support from others. So this will help flatten the curve of an increased spike of COVID-19. Social support plays an important role in mental health and substance abuse problems. For example, people living with depression report lower levels of social support than others. This also includes stress, not only depression. Now, a lot of people have stress. A lot of people have stress related to their priorities of their family and the health of their family, and also being able to support for them. So this makes it very important to provide that empathy through social support. Now, one might ask, how do you talk or even take care of someone who is seriously ill? According to Today 2004, the most important thing to do is remember when you are caring for someone that they are in pain, physical and emotional, and your attention should be focused on what they need, not what you need. So that puts you at risk for being judged. That puts you almost in an awkward situation, because you have to actually step out and make an effort to do so. Now, a goal for humans is one that others can depend on. We have that goal. It's in our brain and it's been in our body. It's shaped in our brains and bodies to favor this outcome. And that is according to TEDx in Des Moines, Iowa, and according to 2013. They also go on to state that traits of a good person are ones that are caring of ourselves and also others, compared to that of an evil person or someone who's selfish at the expense of others. Now, it is weird, and we don't really like to say that we are evil person. We want to be known as a good person. Well, this TED Talk quote points out that a good person are people who are caring for ourselves, but also others. So that means putting yourself in an awkward situation. Some outside sources that have supported this idea is from TED Talks in 2017. They state loneliness is not a choice, unlike being alone. Loneliness represents the fundamental mismatch that we have between the relationships that we want to have and those that we have. Loneliness, they state, has also increased the disease for people that are already struggling with diseases like diabetes, depression, and even cancer. Now that's pretty huge. Cancer and diabetes, that's systemic problems. It's not just a mental problem. So that's a systemic link to our brain. They are connected. Now they state that loneliness is equivalent to having 15 cigarettes a day. They state loneliness leads to an unhealthy coping mechanisms to find a human connection, like, for instance, workaholics wanting to work more to cope. That leads them to a lack of sleep, lack of food, lack of exercise. But what if someone were to just reach out to them and ask if they're okay? That doesn't mean that they have to be at risk. It could just mean that playing a game or just simply asking, "How are you doing today?" Now, according to TEDx Talks in 2017, this is an epidemic of loneliness since 1980. Loneliness has doubled over 40%. That is 2 out of 5 people. Now, we're in a pandemic and we already have an epidemic. The reason is because we're an always-on society and we're not forced to sympathize. Now, that was in 2017. Now is the perfect time in 2020 to reach out and empathize and have that social connection, social support, to reach out to the people who are not only marginalized or criticized for being older or being a minority or having the essential worker label. Those are all important things, but don't underestimate those titles. They are people. They need social support, just like we do. We are all a team. Now, the TED Talks also states that a healthy balance could look like paying empathy forward simply by texting, video calling to check up on them, and that might risk being judged. They go on to say a healthy balance could look like going to the park, social distancing, maybe someone's birthday, driving by them and holding up a sign that says happy birthday. Now, my own perspectives. Social support is huge. The reason is because we're an always on society and we're forced to empathize. Okay, well, that was from 2017. Our current situation, again, is a pandemic. We are almost exact opposite. We're kind of going to have to be noise off society because we can't really work as much. We have to alter everything that we're doing right now, and that raises stress. There's a balance between work and socialization, and that can be done. It is important to have work. It's also important to have socialization. In current times, it's also important not to think of independence as loneliness, but that of unity to give strength. And that is referring to an American Psychological Association quote that states, "In fact, experts say almost all of us benefit from social and emotional support. Although it may seem counterintuitive, having a strong social support can actually make you more able to cope with problems on your own by improving your self-esteem and sense of autonomy." Thank you.